Ayooo!
Hey.
Cut that straight up.
Man, you got cut all the way off.
Begin.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ayooo podcast. This is episode 17. And I'm here with my bomb-ass co-host today. And we're going to get into generational curses. That's what we're talking about today. So that's a pretty hot topic, you know, amongst us as a race, black people as a race. So, sorry, I just had to, I'm happy to be black. I love it. Anyway, so I'm going to let my girls introduce themselves so y'all can know who y'all looking at. Y'all should know by now, but just in case you don't, friends.
Just in case. What's up? It's your girl, Angel Wings, a.k.a. the Chocolate Princess. How y'all doing?
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl, Cola 05, aka Cocaine.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Ayooo. No AKAs, just Ayooo. How y'all doing?
And I am comedian Chris Styles. So first, before we get into this, we're going to get into our word of the day, right? So Ayooo, you gonna handle that today? You gonna let them know what we do, how we do?
I gotta get it out first. It's hard to get it.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Pause. I didn't know you wanted to say that.
Word up, what the hell is that?
Hold on, while she looking for that 1500 Podcast City want us to give them credit
Hey,
for our intro song.
yes,
We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all check them out, 1500 Podcast City.
Yes.
Y'all happy?
So
Say
our word of the day is family. You say family?
Okay. Family.
We are family.
Drink.
I got all my sisters with me.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right.
All right. So if we're gonna get into this, let's talk about it, which is a hot topic that we choose to talk about. And Ayooo, we're gonna let you take on that, baby.
Okay. So the topic for today is the Popeye's chicken incident that happened right in PG County.
Sorry.
Lord
That was
Jesus.
funny.
So I kind of caught the live arrest report at the end today when I was coming out the house, and they were saying that it was a guy who actually was the one rooting everyone who was murdered. I thought it was the other way around all the time until this evening. And then I saw another incident where, you know how they have like the poles right there when you're going through the drive-through? It's like the
I
metal
saw that
pole.
too.
You saw that, and the
And they
lady
was trying
was
to
like
cut.
hitting a car and cut.
What?
Man,
All
I'm gonna say is that if y'all doing that much on a $3 fucking sandwich, just go jump off.
They
a roof.
actually released the
That's
recipe, so if y'all look that up, I mean, y'all can make the shit
Oh, for real?
at home. So.
It's fucking the chicken tenders. I'm gonna get that out. It's just the chicken tenders on the
It's
fucking.
chicken.
It's the bread
It's
that
not
makes
the
it
It's a
good.
chicken thigh. It's a chicken thigh.
That's what I eat all day, baby. I be trying to
chicken
tell
thigh.
y'all sleeping on the thighs.
Just get a
nigga.
boneless chicken thigh. Somebody put the recipe out there. Work at Popeyes.
Bang,
All
bang,
that shit
bang,
and make your
bang,
own
bang,
Popeyes.
bang, bang,
And save a life. I mean,
It's not a breast.
no, it's a thigh.
That's
It
what
might
I
be a
was
breast.
like.
I thought I tasted. You showing them?
It's a thigh.
But it's the crazy part. They was just
Damn,
saying on the
that's
radio
a
that
fucking-
they just came back on Sunday, and that shit happened, what, yesterday?
Some people.
So,
on Monday,
Some
I
of
mean.
them had them back before Sunday because I seen like people post them like Thursday, Friday. But yeah, that's.
But my thing is,
ridiculous.
I don't think it was a chicken sandwich. It was the disrespect.
Of
And I
him
think the
breathing.
person feels, and this is another thing we need to talk about, y'all. This is why I never do dumb stuff in public. Y'all have to learn to be courteous and nice to people because people are walking around crazy,
Yeah.
mentally ill, and it just takes one thing
Just set them
to
off.
take a
Real
motherfucker
shit.
from zero to take her from head and you got to be careful. That's why I be like, hey, how you doing? I don't overdo it, but I'm not gonna be disrespectful because you just never know.
Yeah.
Road rage the same way. It takes
Yeah.
that one person
Oh, yeah,
you
I
to
don't
cut
do
off, or you be like, yeah, look.
They
That's
follow
when
your
follow you
motherfucking
to your
ass.
house, and you gotta be careful. We out here in these world. This world is crazy. So I think it's just a lack of
real
respect all the way around. And I think if that changes, we won't have no more chicken sandwich killings
or fights.
or fights.
I ain't trying to laugh. What you
Okay.
say?
It's ridiculous. It got us looking
Yeah,
crazy
that-
out
But they
here.
gonna
Yeah,
make it
that
out to
shit
be
is
because
dumb.
of the chicken sandwich.
Of course,
though.
Right. Well, that's what the media did.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And then they said that like the wait time right now for any Popeyes you go to is 45 minutes or more.
But why though? Y'all know it's in high demand.
Yo,
Y'all
the
should be
Popeyes
dropping
on
that shit.
Howard Street.
They should be dropping that shit like Sunday after church service.
They need to set
The
a driveway
drive-thru
for
line
the
was
goddamn
hanging
chicken
out.
sandwiches.
They need to
and
stop
let the people
selling
who just
it.
want to go for a 2-piece get in a regular driveway, and the chicken sandwich people getting their new driveway that they made for the goddamn chicken sandwiches.
You think
So the other
Popeyes
people
making
can-
two drive-thru
They,
lanes like
they got
McDonald's?
enough money. They can
Bitch,
do
that
it.
ain't happening.
They gotta get that black lady to be like, yo, what line y'all want? Anybody with the chicken sandwiches? I got this my recipe. Bitch, it ain't your recipe.
But I ain't gonna lie, they good as shit.
I had one and
They
I
was
wasn't
alright. They
impressed.
wasn't- I
It
wasn't
depends
impressed.
on. I
No,
think
it's
it
good.
depends on where you get it from. It's good as shit because when I got it from the one I'll go to Ring, I was like, but then when I went to the one by my house, it was nice and fresh. I got like, I think how many times I told you I got
A lot.
It was a lot. It was like
I
shit.
tried one in Niagara Falls and it wasn't good.
I think it depends on
What
where
do
you
do
get it
with more than
from.
one chicken sandwich? You
It's
heat that bitch
eat
up
it.
later?
No, it was a couple. No, it
She
was still
eating
good.
once a day,
Yeah.
like Monday, Tuesday,
She
Wednesday,
was like,
Thursday.
No, it was still really good. Like
She was
later in the
addicted
day,
before.
not
Really?
even
Like,
heated up.
really?
Not even heated up because I can't reheat chicken.
Yeah, she
I have
she
an
was
issue
eating
with
it
that.
all
Interesting.
over to
It was. No, because Derek got two, I got two, but I didn't even get to eat it.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
It's good though. It's the bread. It's something in the bread. Some
the bread is
honey.
sweet.
Something
Is it honey
something.
bread?
It tastes like Hawaiian bread. A little bit, and it's like brioche.
And buttery.
I know that.
Bitch,
I
this
know
that bitch is on the commercial.
No,
Bitch,
it's
you got that from the goddamn
I
commercial.
know
Shut
my
up, bitch.
bread. I'm fat. I know what bread goes good with what sandwiches. You supposed
Brioche.
to. It's brioche bun, but it's like the way they toast it probably. But it also has like a sweet.
You think they
Butter.
stack it with butter? Like
Oh, they
Russian
definitely-
Yeah,
butter?
it's like a honey butter.
It's definitely. It's
good
probably
shit.
the butter they give y'all
So
at
you
Texas
got honey
Roadhouse.
butter, spicy mayo, the buttermilk chicken sandwich.
And a little side of diabetes. And
Yeah, I'm like, that's a heart attack. Wait,
That's
have
a
it
heart
on this
attack waiting to
motherfucker.
happen.
Yes.
But you wanna know what's funny? I like it, but you wanna know who chicken sandwich I actually like better? Wendy's.
Oh, you know, Wendy's does have a
They
good
high
chicken sandwich.
shit,
It's
though.
$175 for a
Yeah,
meal.
high
but,
shit.
uh,
Yeah,
just
high
description.
shit.
Nah, no thank you.
Yeah.
You don't like Wendy's?
Not
I do
that
like
chicken
Wendy's.
sandwich.
Are you serious?
I haven't had one. I
Girl,
haven't
my
tried.
friend used to work there. She was bringing me a whole bag home frozen from this. I could just have in my freezer.
Wow.
They
For
good.
real? Oh, okay.
They good.
All right. Well, we're going to move on now. We're going to get into the actual topic here, which is we said earlier with generational curse.
curses.
So we all should know what a generational curse is, just in case we don't. Angel, you want to explain?
Yeah, sure. So we all have those things that we go through, or people in our family where we tend to see the same things
Family.
happening. Family. Y'all like my glass? Okay. So we have those things that happen in our family, and we see that it tends to happen over and over again, right? So you get to that point where you're like, you know what, this needs to stop. So we want to discuss what are the things in any typical family that seems to happen over and over again, where now you're the one that's like, I'm a dead this, I'm gonna stop this, and I want to start a new tradition or a new, whatever the case may be. But sometimes, we're talking about generation. We're talking about as a curse, but it could be good or bad. Like
Right.
Bitch, you about to cry?
me?
Yeah.
No.
That little choked up over there. I'm like, what is going on?
I just had a goddamn sneeze attack before we hit record.
I was like, what is going on? I'm looking at her like.
I'm trying to get my life together over here.
Well, I'll just start out real quick if y'all don't mind. If y'all cool with
Okay, do
that.
it.
So one of the things I noticed is that I grew up with a 2-parent household, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's great, it's amazing, yeah." But my parents never taught me anything about finances. My mother was really good at finances, and she did so well, but she never sat down and taught me about finance. She taught me how to write my budget out and how to budget my money and how to write it down, but you ain't tell me nothing else. Like, you showed me how to line the numbers up. Like, you didn't show me anything else as far as, like, credit. How, like, they always say it's good to have good credit, but they never show you how. They just, and I think when I grew up, it was like, that's grown folks' business, and it was, they never really let you in on the things that an adult needs to know.
Right.
And with my daughter, who is 20, I'm very adamant about her having good credit because she can get things in her name from me because my credit's bad.
Oh my
So
Terrible.
I'm really
Terrible.
no, real talk though. I'm really push the credit thing very hard with her because I want her to be able to have things and be able in a better position than I was at her age. So now adults need to really take the time and teach your children about finances and things like that. And if you don't know, look up somebody that does know and do that because it's very important.
Oh man.
Yeah, she
I'm
doesn't.
joking. No, but I piggyback on you. Back then, they didn't really know about it. A lot of our parents and grandparents, they just basically knew how to save up the money to get the land for their house. They didn't know the whole breakdown of credit. And by me actually joining it, I'm seeing that a lot of African Americans, I mean, it's a lot of races, period, but in a lot of African American households, it's not taught as it is taught in a Caucasian household. They teach them that from the beginning. I would never forget, I worked with a young lady real fast, and she was like 26, and she already had like $35,000 saved up at 26 years old.
That's
Never
because
worked a
white people are
job.
born with
And
money.
no, she said she put up every paycheck from working.
White people
Her
are born
parents
with the
never made her pay like her
720
cell phone bill to start off something. Or, you know, like how, I mean, at 18, 16, 17, I had to pay my cell phone bill. When Sprint first came out and I got my phone, I had to pay it. My girl was like, you want it, you're going to pay for it.
Right.
She's like, she just put up all her financial aid checks, her paychecks, everything. She stayed home, and her parents let her build herself first before they threw her out there into the world.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, I think that parents should let their kids stay in the house more, like longer these days, and let them, you know, establish themselves, finish when they finish school, they can, you know, work towards whatever it is they got their degree in, get experience in that, save their money, and then go out into the real world, instead of kind of throwing them out into the real world early and then them having to come back because they messed up. I mean, unless they want to leave, but kind of don't force them out, or, you know.
That's because they try to
I
fuck
agree
with
with that.
the
We
kids.
had a conversation about
y'all be
this on
trying
the
to put the
football
kids
team.
out early so y'all can fuck. That's why. That's what it is. Be like, get on out. When you turn 18, you getting out so I can fuck in the kitchen. Let your kids.
It was weird because a
We'll do
couple of
that
us
too.
parents on the football team was having a conversation about what you just was talking about last week. And I told them that I didn't want my kids to work while they're in college. I want them to focus on what they need to. I will give
The
them.
whole time though?
I want
I
them-
can see the first year.
Yeah, I saw my son the first year.
Yeah.
I think if they're doing what I asked for them to do, and they're not like out here being outrageous in college and doing what they want to do, I'd rather them focus on their studies than for them to be too tired doing a job or something or anything. But everybody can agree, disagree. I heard kids kept saying that they wanted a job, and I'm like, why? I would rather my kids just enjoy college if I can.
Yeah.
But I told my son he can come home in the summer and work.
Yeah,
During
summer, but I'm talking about
school,
during school. Yeah, summer, get your own damn money because you'll be
Right.
home eating and getting on my nerves. So
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I was able to enjoy college and still work, but I mean, I was only working like a few hours a week. I wasn't doing anything crazy. But
But
it's
now
still
they
like,
do be doing like 30, 40 hours a week.
oh, yeah, that's too much.
That's too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And also encourage your kids to go to college too, or
Yeah.
do something productive with themselves
Yeah.
instead of trying to go back later on in life, what they should have done early on in life.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
So you're saying like for families who generation after generation they not going to college or whatever the case may be? Because I mean nowadays you don't necessarily have to go to college, but
Right,
at least
right.
get a trade or
Or
something.
trade or something.
Yeah,
Something.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't just be on the gram.
exactly.
Like another curse that I've noticed is like communication, and like I see it brewing in my child. You know, so like with his father and his father's mother and all, like they just did not communicate. You know, they was the type of family where they would just sweep the shit under the rug. You know,
You mean as
and-
far as issues.
Right.
Okay.
Major issues.
Right. So, and nothing was ever like discussed, or you know, like if somebody was wrong about something, they never like confronted them, like, yo, you were wrong about this, whatever the case
That's
may
a
be.
problem. That's why
Yeah,
there's
so,
a lot of
yeah.
that's also, I was about to get into something really deep and I don't even know if I want to go that deep, but that also could be why a lot of people are kind of messed up these days, because a lot of messed up like molestation and things like that may have happened in children's childhood, and it was like they still let Uncle Billy be in the, don't say nothing about Uncle Billy,
Right.
Right.
you know, whatever the case may be, not just
Right.
that, but just that's an example of
Yeah,
generational
real shit.
things that could happen that can make somebody kill somebody for a sandwich.
I think
know
my
what?
thing, one of my things with generational, well, I'll talk from experience and then I'll keep it under 45 seconds so nobody won't bang me. I'm joking. But one of the things is mental illness. That's the main thing that is not broken in general, especially in African American households. They just label things as, oh, that bitch crazy. And no, the bitch really is
She
crazy.
really is
No, the
crazy.
bitch really is crazy.
Certified.
So that's something that I feel like we brush under the rug, and I'm gonna piggyback on what Crystal said, even though it might be a hard topic for her, it's an easy topic for me to kind of be able to discuss now, because I grew up in a dysfunctional family, very dysfunctional family. They were all drug addicts. We all seen too much that we should have seen at a very young age. But the grateful thing is that none of the grandkids are, you know, we haven't even wanted to, but everyone kind of saw what we saw, and we knew that that's not what we wanted to do. Right. But we also have a lot of things that we carry from that we don't like. Like sometimes I have to catch myself because sometimes I feel like I sound like my mom talking to my kids, and I didn't like how she talked to me, and I'd be like, oh shit, I done got that from her, and I'd be trying to catch myself. But the main thing I would say within African Americans is owning what happened in their childhood and going to therapy, because if you do not go to therapy, you will never deal with it. And I'm just keeping it real for anybody that it might help. I just went to therapy 3 years ago. So I waited till I was 33 years old to go to therapy and get that help to learn how to deal with things with my parents and to learn how to just be able to push some people away. But my main thing with African Americans is mental illness. Like it's really real. It's really serious. Real bad.
That's what we said. Well, like you were saying, communication. That's kind of what she was saying as far as communicating.
Yeah.
And how you communicate to your children. Like you have, like you were saying. I think we were talking before where women would call their children bitches.
Right.
Yeah. Like how you talk to your child can scar them for life, and it can also set up how they talk to their children.
Right.
And then also how they allow a man to talk to them.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times with these things, like the parents, they don't.
I don't like that. Let me just say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that. Do not call your daughter bitches. I hate that shit.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry, but I just want people to stop doing that. Like I've seen 10 and 11-year-old girls being called bitches for their attitude. They're preteens. Get fucking used to it. Go. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Let me remember what I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
No, but no, I was just going to say you only know what you know. So like a lot of these parents, you know, they're only doing what they
was taught.
Right, exactly, and what they knew growing up. And so now we're at an age where we have children, so we get to decide: do we want to continue that, or do we want to go a different way with our children? You know, like we could be a generation of kids that got our ass whipped, and now we become a parent and we don't want to, beat our kids' ass anymore. Not me, but like I'm a whip ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe in that time out shit. And some parents do, and to each his own. You feel
Maybe
me?
the ones licking the walls.
How you do you agree with whipping, smacking, papping?
Well, my sons were young. Like now that they're older, and like I don't really whip them. They might get a punch.
For those who don't know,
TJ's 19, Rakai's 14.
Okay.
I might punch them like off guard or something like that, but I ain't taking no belt and whipping nobody's tail because we running all around the house. And I got time for that.
How old were they?
I just want to punch you when you least expect it. And
how old were they when you stopped whipping?
I think TJ got beat up real good one time. He was like 16.
By you?
Then, yeah. He did that. Like, he got beat up. Yeah.
I just had to make a godson and dad to kill him. When you sweat, I'm sweating.
Yes. Rakai, I can't remember. I really randomly like punch. They really get like
that's better when you randomly punch because
I've actually probably used about 3-4 times, but it had to be something like really serious for me to get my point across. Other than that, I'm punching the shit out you too. Like I'm punching the shit out you. Now I be feeling bad when I do it. If I beat my daughter though, I just be feeling bad. I walk off.
Yeah, I ain't girl.
But I can fuck Malik up and think nothing of it.
Because he's a dude.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can't no more. He like 6. So what the fuck I'm gonna do? Take a broomstick.
My kids,
that's harder when they get older.
Nobody though.
Maddie will run.
Shit, I don't got
Maddie will run. She will have me running all around.
I'm like, all right, I got you. So when they least expect eating dinner, I'm just going punch your ass.
Maybe I ain't doing it
Why
like
you eat
that.
dinner? Goddamn, you got
When
the
they least
corn on.
expect it, you gotta wait till you
Remember the belts we used to wear around our waist and shit like years ago?
Yeah. You come in there like, mom's home.
But
time
like,
to beat that ass. Is that what you been doing?
no, bitch, I still had one back in the day that I used to wear for fashion, but
Oh, you talking about I thought you were WWE, but I thought you was like this.
I don't like using that shit because I hurt myself more than I hurt this little boy. Like, as I whip this way, the shit come back and hit me in the motherfucking hands and shit. I'm like, wait a minute.
Shit, my uncle used to make us line up for our ass whoopings. We knew it. When he was going to whip our ass for something we didn't do, he come home from work because my uncle was like our scapegoat. Him and my aunt house. That's where we saw things different. But he used to make us line up for our ass whoopings.
He'd be like,
and I always want to go last.
He'd be like,
he's tired, then motherfucker.
Is that why he would get you last?
Yeah, he's tired, so I'm gonna get less of the ass whooping because he's tired now. He's swung his hand about 50 fucking times. It's over.
That's funny of you. I'm thinking about that last time I whipped my youngest son. Yo, I ran out of breath.
Yeah.
Bitch, I had to tell him I'll be back. Like,
you said you be back.
My mother used to sneak me like like on Jody. My mother, I'd be sitting there watching TV. My mother come behind me and be like, "Little Jody."
Hell yeah.
She used to sneak me.
That shit be crazy, y'all.
She's died. She died, by the way. She don't you have to go after her. She's already.
You know what?
She's with the Lord.
Like my worst beating. Me and my brother were late coming in the house. She put us in the tub. Bitch got us out that tub. But like everything was good. We got out that tub. She tore our asses up.
That's the back door when they butt ass naked. That's when the fucking door. Yes.
And I ain't fuck with her no more. I was
You
like,
can't be no child with their clothes on.
CPS would get me now if I did that shit.
Yeah, we need to show you this time.
Speaking of CPS, we got the shits called on us before.
Yeah, we got
for
CPS
whipping
called on
ass.
us. Yeah.
Oh,
This that bullshit. You can't even do nothing no more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
that
soon
shit
as they
crazy.
left, I whipped this ass again. I said, I wish you call him again.
Oh, the children called.
Well, they ain't called, but
School.
DJ went to school was like, ow, my arm and shit. My mother called me and was like, Tosh. I was like, yeah. She's like, you sitting down? I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
CPS at the door. I was like, what? Lady's like, he's light, so just, hit him with his blood. But I didn't really, I just like yoked them up.
Grizzlies.
School and
I
like,
ain't fuck with Maddie.
I slapped the shit in out my daughter. Well,
her handprint was still on her
I see you
handprint.
doing that, Crystal.
See,
Girl,
I don't play.
Crazy.
She said something smart. I was like, I don't know who it was.
And then sent it to school with the handprint
Sure did.
right here.
Oh my She got perfect attendance. You're not worried with no stick perfect attendance. Somebody asks you something, don't say nothing. And of course they was like, "Oh, you okay?" She's like, "My face hurts." And she's like, "Did your mother hit you?" Yeah, she did.
Oh, shit.
I go to pick up from daycare, Miss Trish. There's a police officer there. She was like, "It's okay." I was like, I walked up like, "Damn, the police here is always something popping off. Always something popping off."
Your black ass.
She was like, "Crystal, it's okay. The police is here."
Oh, my
She
goodness.
said, "Did you hit Aaliyah this morning?" I was like, I love,
Oh my God, shut up.
I turned into an instant slave. I was like, "Please, officer. Please don't take me to jail. I love her.
Oh, I hate her.
It was hard.
But see, the funny thing is, from that experience, your daughter, and when she had kids, she might decide like,
Not
I
to.
don't want to lay a hand on my kids.
And that was like that was the last time that was the last time I ever put my hands on her. Because I really realized in that was like my aha moment. Like, bitch, you really tripping. Like,
You could go to jail for this
I
shit.
could really get
not playing.
hardcore time. I could get
Right.
raped for this in jail.
Shit
Like,
crazy.
I could be somebody's girlfriend in jail just over a smack. It's not worth it.
That's
move
funny.
Oh my God.
Now, there's another one too I want to talk about, y'all.
What?
A lot of black families don't show affection. And it also like messes up your relationships as far as affection, how you receive it and how you give it. How do y'all feel about that? If y'all had any, situations, anything as far as that y'all don't want to bring down or anything that you've, went through?
I think, like a lot of, like in my families, we never got the like, I love yous after the phone calls and stuff like that. Like it wasn't a lot of I love yous. I mean, I know I was loved, but
Right.
it wasn't like verbally said all the time. I say it to my sons a lot now, but.
Do you say it a lot to your sons because you didn't get it said to you, but for you?
Yeah.
So it's
I let them
emotional.
know.
I think I'm the same way. I tell my kids, I probably say it like 30, 40 times a day. Kissing, affection, tell them I love them because I never really got it. So,
Yeah.
because my family, they weren't affectionate. Yeah. My dad probably
I know
told
I
me he
was
loved me
loved.
a lot. I know, no, I can't say that. You can.
And that's weird because like my mother's side of the family, like they're very affectionate. Like every time you walk in the door, you got to go down the whole goddamn line, hug and kiss everybody. When you leave, you gotta go back down the line, hug, kiss everybody. But like my father wasn't really affectionate. Like I wasn't that daddy girl, whatever the case may be. But I find myself with my boys, and I don't know if it's because they're boys, but I'm not like affectionate, like kissy and all that stuff
Yeah, I'm not
with
kissy-kissy.
them.
But I do tell them I love them though.
But so it's, I mean, I will, but it's like not like every night. I don't know, it's
Yeah.
weird because it's like, it's not like I'm not used to that, but
Right.
for me, I'm just different. And I noticed that in like relationships too. Like, don't look for me to be like that affectionate bitch, like, whatever the case
You're
may
not.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I'm trying.
I mean, not saying it in the back, like I couldn't see you be like,
You're
oh,
not
I
even a good
love
hugger.
you so
You're not
much.
even a good
Yeah.
hugger.
Yeah.
You're not even a good hugger. This is how she hug.
I'm not.
She don't even hug right. I'm like this. She be like this.
I do love this shit, a good hugger.
I ain't want to tell you that, right?
You know,
Let's
if you
see,
want to know
so
something I
what does
never
that-
got.
what does that mean? mean, I don't know
So
because
we're gonna practice later.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay.
So maybe I get that. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe I get it from my father because, like I said, my mother like they do that.
They do that. Well, you didn't learn how to hug if you were going down that hug line, coming in the.
I guess I'm probably tired of doing that
You
shit.
might be tired of hugging
I
that
got big
shit,
ass family.
Well, you
probably why
today,
you
you
on
know,
hug
we never
now.
had dinners. Like, we never sat down for dinners.
Oh, that's a
We
good one.
we never sat down for dinners at the
We
dinner
did.
table unless I was at my grandmother's house. But my mom and my dad's house, and my mom, and y'all know that my mom is a really big sided family, and we'll all probably meet. Well, that started happening after everybody got clean. But we all meet up at each other's house. But none of us have ever like sat down and had like a Sunday dinner or anything. Even when we were younger, we used to eat all over the fucking house. It didn't matter what the fuck.
Now,
we
But
ate.
do you think? All right. So say you do sit down. Do you think it's like a point to sit down and everybody's
think it's very
quiet at the
productive.
table?
No, I don't think people should be quiet. But I think it's very productive to sit down, mom, dad, kids, and just sitting there. How was your day? Da 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 da. I think that's a good family moment, even if it's for 30, 40 minutes out of the day. I think that kind of. I can't get mine to say. I mean, the girls will, Malik, whatever. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's healthy.
I think I saw, y'all know what I saw that I thought was really cute. This is a generational thing. This is going to be really off left, but I think it was really cute. If y'all watch the Kardashians, they always do this thing where they would sit together and they would go over the peak and the pit of their day. And they would talk about the best thing that happened in the day and the worst thing. I think that is really, really cool. And I said I was going to start that, but I never did. But it's really cute. I think
It is cute.
Like,
I think it's cute.
I don't need it to be all that. Like
Yeah.
we'll sit together. The TV will be on. We may or may not talk.
Yeah.
You know, the
And I don't know if
case
they
may
do
be,
it every
but-
single day, but maybe like if y'all get together on Sunday, you know, what would happen, you know, it's just good to check in, especially, I think it'd be good, especially with, you know, social media and, you know, so many things that are distracting us from our family. I think it would be good to start that.
Game night, like
we
with
did,
your
yeah.
kids. Like,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
I
We
know
used
my
to
friend,
eat-
they do a game night every Friday, her and her
Yeah,
kids
that's a
and
good
her
thing.
husband.
Yeah,
They're
we used to
older, so.
eat. We used to eat at the table a lot when I was young, and we wouldn't be able to watch TV until we finished eating.
Right.
We had to do it together as a family.
But that's a two-parent household. That's how they normally
Yeah.
are. Because
Yeah.
when I went to my grandmother's, oh my God, I used to sit there falling asleep at the table because she wouldn't let me get up until, like you said, till you finish eating. But I think that's a big form of communication that I
Nat
hate
King
it,
Cole is back.
that you can't miss. I think if you have that in your family, it plays a big vital role.
Yeah.
It sets for, especially for men. I mean, both women, I mean, girls and boys, but I think it's a big vital role in saying that, hey, I had this moment with my family yesterday, da 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 da. You don't think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think the dinner table is very vital.
Yeah, I think it's important. That's why I try to do it. So
Well,
what
family
y'all-
time, Sundays, Sunday dinner. Did any of y'all used to go to your grandparents' house for Sunday dinner?
No, but I've always, the way that I was brought up is that somebody should be cooking dinner on Sunday.
Yeah.
There should be a dinner cooked on Sunday, every Sunday. And it should be a good dinner. It shouldn't be like rice. It should be like
rice.
Right.
That's
Who the
something
fuck
stupid.
is that?
I didn't say rice. Sorry, I didn't mean to say rice. I mean,
Right.
it should be like a good meal. It should be something.
Not like
you
burgers
know,
and fries.
That's what I mean. I don't know why I said rice. I don't know why I said rice. It shouldn't be like, you know, it shouldn't be like bar food. Like, you shouldn't be having like wings, you know, unless you having that before the game and then later on. But it should be something, a good
Fresh
meal
cut
on
vegetables.
Sunday. That's what it is. And I try to cook at least 2 to 3 times. I try to cook 3 times a week. That's just how I was brought up. But you know what I wanted to say real quick about the affection thing? I wanted to say something. I grew up with affection and all that, but I've learned, as the older that I've gotten, the more that I've lost people in my life, I say I love you to everybody after every conversation that I love.
You do.
After every conversation, I would say love you, even if we're just on the phone for 2 seconds.
Oh,
just
so you don't
because-
love me, bitch? Because I just told
Yes.
you the other day. And
Yes.
you didn't say I love you.
No, that's because I don't even know
That's
why I
some
didn't say
shit.
that.
Ain't that
No,
some shit?
I love you. I love you.
Bitch, too late.
So,
Too late.
well, I'm
You
gonna
just let it out.
I do try to say, if I can remember, since it's not, I'll try to say I love you. Like, you know, I try to do that because
Maybe you don't
know,
catch it because she be like, I love you, bye.
It's
like
very
really
fast.
fast.
It's
Very
super fast.
fast.
It's
Very
very
fast.
And she would have caught it.
Yeah, she probably would have caught it. Yeah, Angel, you are very like you're hard to read. So
What you
I'll be
mean?
like, you are very tough.
I'm very sweet.
You are sweet. You are very sweet, but you are
Sweet
very
and
like
sour.
Lord.
Yo, Angel is real hard.
Angel
Angel
is
is really hard.
hardcore.
And
You're
she be like,
hardcore.
yeah, like it's hard to
You're
read
hardcore.
you, and I be kind of like, okay, you know, let me. I don't know where Angel at because I'm overly affectionate.
No,
I'm extra, like extra.
The only thing with me is I'm sweet. It's certain shit I just don't fuck with. I don't play with certain shit, and that's
Hardcore.
and that's
Remember
another.
that hardcore tone.
I was scared that if I said I love you, it might freak you out.
No,
Oh, what I'm saying, like, yo, I was like, if I say I can't do, I'm gonna say I love you. She gonna be like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm like,
but you know what? That's a good segue, and you probably. Well, you finished? I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Oh no, because they were talking on the radio one time, right? And I think about this with my kids too. So you know how you have like the mother who was just like overly sweet and nice and like the pushover and shit, and then you have like me who like I'm like really like tough with my kids. But for me it has a lot to do with me having boys and knowing what's going on in the world. Like it's so much shit, like I cannot afford for y'all to fuck shit up, you know what I'm saying, or to be caught slipping, like, and I battle with that, and I talked with their father a lot about that, because I'm like, I don't want them to get older and be like, my mother was such a hard ass. I'm gonna make sure that my kids' mother not like that with our kids. Or are they gonna grow up and say, I respect my mother for, you know, making sure that I had this, that, and the third, that I was on point, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. That's hard.
This is the last thing I wanted to say, and I'm sorry, piggyback. Were you done? I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask that question off there, but I can remember it. Go ahead.
The only other thing I want to say about generational curses that need to be broken is favoritism. That's a big thing in the African American community as well with kids. And I hear a lot of kids, especially when I used to work with kids, I used to always hear them say that a lot, and make kids venture out to do things out in the streets because they feel like me and Nicole are your kids. I'm the different mouthy kid. Nicole's the more, I'm going to listen and do what mommy say, kid. I'm going to do what you say, but I'm going to give you a couple words. That kid then feels like that I'm going to feel like, oh, you favor Nicole more. You don't care about me. You just, it's always about the good things that Nicole does, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're never awarding me. And that's something that I kind of dealt with too. It's 5 of us, and you know, like I tell my kids all the time, because it was brought to my attention before. I'm like, all of y'all are different. I have one that's gonna do everything. I have one that drive me up 35 fucking walls, and you're gonna drive me crazy. But I love all y'all the same. Yeah. So
do you use the same technique on all your kids, or do they get different teachings from you, like different ways that you approach the situation with them?
Well, I would say different ways, because, of course, y'all know Madison. She's the more emotional one. She's going to cry about every damn thing, and everything is going to be victimized. Malik is the more, whatever, man, I don't give a fuck. Okay. So I do teach them differently. Now, Malik, you might hear me cussing the fuck out, like, totally, but I won't do that to Madison, because not only because she a girl, but she's more emotional. Like, you know, like you said, she would take it real to heart, and it scares me about things that I would think that she be thinking about or do, or whatever the case may be, especially with society right now, because at the same time, we're raising our parents, but society and social media is kind of digging in on that shit, too. Yeah.
I'm so glad my daughter grew up right after, like, she got in that stage right now. Social media is hot now, and she's already 20, so thank God, because I don't really know, like, what type of stuff.
It's insane.
And that's honestly another reason why I only had one child, because she's awesome, and she's so good. And I was scared Vanessa was going to be a total bitch. And she's not, so I only had one, because I know I'll probably be favoritism. I probably would definitely be the mother and be like, go sit your word. So, I only had one.
So what was you about to ask me?
Oh, I know you touched on your dad. How was your mom? Like, what type of? Was she like an affectionate? Is she like an affectionate?
She was affectionate, but she didn't play either.
Okay, all right.
So like, for like an example, like when it came to school, like I knew that my mother didn't play about school. Like homework time, like she was a totally different person. Like she was mean as fuck doing homework time. But then now I noticed, like when my children were younger, I was the same way. Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't have any patience, but I was the same way. So I noticed that my ex-husband would be like, "Yo, like you awarded." Like, so I'd be like, "All right, nigga, you do the homework. I'm gonna do the baths." So like, it gotta be one or the other and shit. Like, 'cause I can't
do homework. No, I can't.
Stressing me out.
I pay for a motherfucker too to be 5 sit there and do homework. I'm so serious. I can't do homework.
So what do y'all think is a difference with a 2-parent household and a single parent? Like, what are some of the things you think that?
I think it kind of flows better. So, of course, with Malik's dad and I wasn't in the household with them, but with Riley's dad, I'm in the household, and I see the difference with her being raised with her father in the household versus them with their father not being in the household. Yeah. And I think the discipline kind of goes smoother. Then you're like on one accord. You don't have one doing this over that house and then coming here and you do that there. So I definitely see a more calmer more. I'm not saying my kids are disrespectful, more respectable, more easy breezy flow type of thing with her versus the other two.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So,
I agree with that. I think a parent household works better.
Cause then they play y'all against each other.
When you're on the same page, because you know,
that's what I'm saying. Then they play y'all
some
against
kids
each
will
other.
try to play you against each other. Like, I said, or such and such said, and blah blah blah.
I want to get daddies. Go the fuck on.
Right. Go ahead.
so do y'all think if children grow up in what we call a broken home, when they get older, would that make them by any means necessary stay with the mother or father of their kids? Like, would that be?
I agree.
that-
I think so. I think that's why there's a lot of people that are unhappy in their marriages because they are staying for one, convenience, and two, for the children because they didn't have that. And then people just want to have things that they didn't have,
they didn't have,
and they want their
right.
children to
Yeah.
have
Have
things
that,
that
right,
they didn't have.
right.
So I think they just stay and they're miserable, and that's why people getting that's why a lot of stuff going down in the streets the way it is because people are unhappy.
And I feel like that with relationships with younger women too. When you touched on a serious thing about like molestation, I think if you don't, with these mothers, it depends on the mind frame that they're in. If they don't get that young girl help when she gets older, she's gonna look for love in all the wrong places, and she's gonna be all fucked up and doing all types of shit. She's gonna be a lesbian one day. She's gonna be a motherfucking straight girl one day.
Wait a minute, what?
I'm just saying,
she's not gonna know where to
she's
get
not
the
gonna know
love.
where to get the love, so she's gonna be
She's gonna be
searching.
looking for things all over the place,
Yeah.
and then she's gonna also look at. And a lot of women who don't have fathers look for their men to be like a father. So they want to always go with older men or more a dominant male to kind of fill that void.
Or if they're dealing with a dysfunctional ass mom who brung and dysfunctional ass men around, they feel like that's the type of man that they're supposed to have. I've seen that too. It's sad.
They think that it's love.
So
That
we
was
got a lot
a
of
good
things to
conversation,
break
yeah.
down. I think that was great, guys.
Thank you, ladies. Well, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure that y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Ayooo podcast.
This is Ayana. We fixed y'all life today.
Yeah.
We fixed y'all life.
Stop those generational curses, people.
Yeah, man, we fixed y'all life.
Because we want to be a family.
Yeah.
And if you try to be a family,
Hey.
you got to be a little family. Don't be hard on your family.
You got
Be happy with your family.
get the guitar, Eva
Love
fam.
with your family. Yeah.
Cookout.
Right.
Love your family. Have a cookout. Love your family.
Somebody that just loves to learn.
Is that Isaac Hayes, bitch? What the fuck is
That
that?
is Sly and the Family
Wow, I wanted to
Stone.
ask, but I ain't want y'all to shit on me. Thanks for asking, because I ain't know.
Y'all can shit on me.